Beer discretion is advised.
This is a disaster. This is the city not working well together. This is the clergy being absent in all cases. There are no clergymen. Where the fuck is the clergy at? You know, they shoved the Bible down my throat as a young Catholic boy, and I wonder where the clergy's at in this situation. There are 17,000 well-cloistered clergymen in Western Washington alone, and there are 45,000 people. That means they get 3 apiece. That's pretty easy to handle. 3 people. 3 shitbirds apiece. 3 shitbirds apiece. That's what we get. What the fuck's our tax anyway? Come, take care of yourself.
Seattle.
What's wrong with Seattle is that Seattle used to be a place that was called the City of Hospitality. The Emerald City of Hospitality. That's like the yellow brick road. Seattle has a crisis of spirit. The spirit of Seattle is sick. It's like an organism that runs through us all. If in fact we don't and we can't heal ourselves as a society and as a communal group, we will never succeed. Seattle is sick right now because of Jeff Bezos. What about everybody else? We're not all Amazon Prime, and we are not on prime time on Amazon. You know, we got the right to be able to choose our own fucking economics. And I'm sick and tired of the clergy being absent in all cases. There were no homeless people when I moved here. There was 0 homeless people. I had never met a homeless person. I saw some people needing money sometimes, but they really weren't homeless, and so everybody had a place. So, I ended up having to come back to my city, and then I run into veterans, I'm a veteran, that were young, beautiful men that were shattered, like no mother, like no fucking soldiers, nobody. It broke my heart. Daniel was quite colorful. He had measures of reservation that he was holding on to, and I felt it. They need a hug.
Wait. They need to be given. See, it's false intentions. Oh, that was perfect. False intentions.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's perfect. False intentions. Wow. Because it's not what they think they know what they want that they don't want. It's like the people that what they're doing is they're giving them what they think they want, and that is destroying them.
Right. It's killing them.
And it's killing them. And crystal meth to balance it out.
Crazy fucker.
Because the more you could do, the more you could drink, you could do is if you could do crystal meth, a little bit of crystal meth, you know, you could drink more. Drink more. Then fearless.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and it was a revolving door, boom, 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 over and over again. Never ended. I thought it would never end. Not until I got off drugs and alcohol. I never felt anything. I never knew. There never was anything. I just feel numb to everything. World. And the world was just no. I made sure I numbed myself.
They go in, they get clean and sober, they come out, they're straight back to where they were. The hospitals don't give a fuck.
No.
Especially Harborview.
No.
You go there and drug addict, they don't care about you. They don't give a rat's ass as long as they get that money. God, buddy.
Yeah,
They
that's
suck.
Lucas.
That's why I hate that place.
They go in little match boxes, little fish box, toolboxes with lined up yellow envelopes with money, cash in them, and they call them down over the speakerphone. They have speakerphone in the row house, and they call them over the speakerphone. Come on down to the desk, and they go to the little corner of the lobby, and they sit them down on a chair, and they give them the cash in their hands.
And they go straight
drug dealer
to
the drug dealer. This is what they think. They know. They think they want.
I even know her.
This is what they want.
Half the people out here are drug addicts, got AIDS, some kind of mental problem. They don't get rat's ass. They call this what do you call it? What do they call this area? Like a ghetto.
This is the ghetto.
There's something else they call it though.
Oh,
the slums.
The slums, yeah, the Bowery.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Why?
Because they don't care about their lives. They don't care. They're just living off the system or whatever the heck they're doing. They want help. They don't know how to get it because they won't help them. By the time they do get help, they end up dying before then. Right before they get the help, they die.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people that happens to.
And it's drugs and money, and it's not what they want. They want to be loved. They want to feel like they're involved with something, or that they are worthy of something.
Much, yeah, but nobody's trying to do anything. Well, I guess I don't know. I watch the news. They say they're helping, but I haven't seen it. All they're doing is kicking people out of their spots, cleaning it up, and then 12 hours later, they're right back there again. It's like a union gospel mission. Every week they're kicking them people out, cleaning up their shit, and then an hour later, they're right back there, not helping them. They're closing down the shelters, but they say they want to help. Where? What are they gonna do? What they should do is open up that hole right there, let them all stay right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Put toilets, garbage
Put
cans,
toilets and garbage
so
around.
they're not shitting in the doorways, pissing in the doorways, having sex in the doorways. It's disgusting.
Reward them when they've completed something. You know, some of it says work. They work, and he that does not work shall not eat. I believe that fully. You know, if you don't work, you don't get to eat. You know, I learned that because when I was homeless. That's how I found Jesus.
Much, yeah, but nobody's trying to do anything. Well, I guess I don't know. I watch the news. They say they're helping, but I haven't seen it. All they're doing is kicking people out of their spots, cleaning it up, and then 12 hours later, they're right back there again. It's like a union gospel mission. Every week they're kicking them people out, cleaning up their shit, and then an hour later, they're right back there, not helping them. They're closing down the shelters, but they say they want to help. Where? What are they gonna do? What they should do is open up that hole right there, let them all stay right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Put toilets. Garbage
Put
cans,
toilets and garbage
so
around.
they're not shitting in the doorways, pissing in the doorways, having sex in the doorways. It's disgusting.
The slums.
It's getting worse too.
It's getting worse.
The churches for the homeless, they won't feed you unless you listen to the sermon first.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And so that's how I found Jesus, because a demon was in the church. A demon, that's how I knew what I wanted. And that was bizarre. And
He felt the demons in the church because his father was a priest,
yeah.
a prophet, a preacher, a prophetic piece of shit.
So I felt that his same presence.
He felt the same presence because the ecclesiastical voice is meant to manipulate. And so his father spoke in the...
So it turned me, I quickly turned straight to Jesus and became...
He grasped his own spirituality through his own humanity. That's what his artwork represents. These creatures...
That's when it started at the age 23.
He started on backs of cardboard boxes.
On backs of cardboard boxes.
Just graduated to this. You've graduated.
Okay. I'm ready for a cigarette.
Now he's Dr. Daniel.
I'm ready for a cigarette.
The three components for human beings to fall in love is dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And so when people start taking things like the OxyContins, it goes to the reptilian brain and it removes the element of humanity that's necessary in order for them to be real, to be in a relationship.
You know, it's nice to be able to wake up in a nice warm room, a comfy bed.
And so whatever drug they're using, is depleting them of their dopamine and serotonin. You know, all of this synthetic meth stuff, any sort of coke use, just burns right through all the dopamine and serotonin in your brain.
On the street, they become into a very repetitive lifestyle of getting used to sleeping, you know, on the cold, hard ground and in doorways and under bridges, side bushes, whatnot. You know.
And without those three chemicals, you can't fall in love. So they're all miserable. Nobody's in love. Nobody can be in love. And so that, you know, when you take that out of the human condition, then, you know, you're more isolated than you are even by social media.
Because eventually they're going to lose themselves inside of themselves, and they're going to find a way to not want to wake up, and that's what they're going to do. They're not going to wake up. They're going to allow their bodies to deteriorate, and that's just how it is when you do it long enough, and you feel that strongly about staying out there. They're gonna, some of them won't wake up.
Because they don't have the capacity to interact at a genuine level. They're completely lost in space. They don't have any chemicals, real ones of their own, to work normally with in a respectful way. And they're all unhappy. Every single one of these homeless entrepreneurs that we've worked with that ends up blaxing out or going off on some sort of a binge or something.
Waking up with them right now, it's probably it's actually more of a big deal than it may seem to be, because they become used to their daily schedule, so to speak, of waking up wherever they do and going about their life. Basically, the way that they wake up is the way that they start out their day. So they're going to have that mindset going into the entire day with that, you know, keeping that in mind, you know. Oh.
They're the most miserable. They are so miserable. Everyone's miserable. Everybody think everybody doing something with somebody else. And they're all hustling each other all day long. And it's just pathetic. It's pathetic to see because they degenerate into such a poor state.
As the years have gone by, and being in a city like this, and when you see it all around you, it gets to the point where eventually you want to do something about it. And
the only way that we can do it is if we tackle some of the real reasons why they're abusing. You know, I found out that 80% of the homeless people are suffering from some sort of a bereavement issue that's unresolved.
When you have, you know, people and things around you that can help you do that, you become motivated, and you want to be able to help these people attain that pleasure of possibly one day being able to go to sleep that isn't somewhere that's under a bridge or in between a doorway or on the ground somewhere, because, you know, that's not how people should be sleeping. People should be happy to be able to go to sleep in comfort and in peace and serenity, and that's not how it is out there.
Now, there's one kid, James. Both of his families ended up dying. Both of his parents died in a fiery car crash when he was 17, and he was riding around in his mom's car, and the bank reported it stolen. He got arrested and thrown in jail for 2 years, and his parents were just burned up.
No, some of them have gotten to the point now, and when I say some, I mean a lot of them, actually. Some of them, I'm assuming, just want to fade away into obscurity because it's gotten to the point.
And so he's got no family or nowhere to go, and then the medical groups and places that he's associated with ignore him all the time. And he's lost. He's lost in space. He's got abscesses all over him. He's got open wounds. He's barely 24 years old.
You know, I'm going to wake up in the, you know, on this street corner, and so based on my surroundings, this is home, and this is where I'm going to have to wake up and do my business for the day. So I'm sure they're feeling, you know, isolated a bit. They're feeling maybe unwanted. disrespected.
He's not going to make it. I found out about 3 other guys that died just recently, yesterday. I had no idea that Farhan died from alcohol. He was in his early 20s. How can you die from alcohol in your early 20s? Pancreatitis, I suppose. But what was the reasons why? I don't know exactly with him or in his case, but they need to stop.
You know, not just having to do the same thing every day, but needing to do the same thing, every day. And they're feeling lost, and it's sad.
The only way to help them is if they stop.
To them, where it's becoming a burden.
But he hasn't been able to reconstitute because he wasn't even a man at the time. He was a boy at the time when his parents died.
I suppose because they've been doing it long enough to where, although they may be used to it, it's become commonplace to the point where they don't feel like they have to, they don't really have any power under their situation anymore. Whereas they always have a certain level of power. They have to be able to have the right people and resources and materials to do other things aside from having that. Let's continue to wake up at the same rich money.
Yeah. Or just to get you through the day, and then you can figure out what you're going to do tomorrow. But as long as you've got a pillow and you're inside, you're all set. And a lot of these guys will network with each other anyway. There are a lot of people that are housed homeless or housed recently from being homeless. And those people are very easy to give a little bit of money to and then crash over at their place if you want to. A lot of that happens as well, but they won't let you in. Nobody's going to let you stay unless you've got a 20 or something to give them, to use their couch. The homeless people are a little bit stingy with outsiders. They're pretty good with their own close friends and their own close network. But anybody else that needs something outside of the people that they know are most likely not going to get anything from. So you've got your own network, and that's the network that you have to exploit in order to survive. And you can't do it alone. You have to be with somebody else. It's too dangerous to be alone. At all times, it's too dangerous. They take the babies away. CPS takes the babies away from the drug-addicted mothers. And a lot of them stay out on the street. There was a handicapped couple that had a baby, and they were thrown out of Tent City because they weren't doing chores, but they couldn't be wheeling around on the gravel and emptying garbage since they were both in wheelchairs. And since they both didn't have housing, they took the baby away. So they'll always take the baby away if you don't have housing. Take you down in the viaduct and stuff. There's groups of tents in places that are just a little bit off the beaten path, and some of them are on the beaten path. So we'll take you out in the jungle, and you can see for yourself how people are living rough up on the hills and on the side of the freeways. They don't get bothered by the police on the side of the freeways. It's not being proper. That's why we need to do a clergy call to order here. I mean, if we could get the Methodists and the Episcopalians to work with the Presbyterians and the Catholics, then maybe there's something more substantive we can do than ignoring these kids and their needs. It's pretty sad. And also, too, there have got to be some parents around that would be willing to provide a little bit of nurture or to jump in. It's not always fair to say the grandmother should do it because they need their break as well. It does help to have people around where abuses won't happen. If you've got clergy present, then the abuses of the homelessness won't happen because it won't happen in their face. It's an element of safety, a measure of safety that I think is important. And also, too, they should be in there providing people with some access to gospel and spirituality. It's terrible. There's no music, there's no comfort, there's no spirituality. It's vapid. It's completely dead.
And on the next City Homeless,
Isn't it key to let everybody use a mouth?
So when he's drawing, he draws
All
white paper.
paper.
White paper.
I like white paper,